Hey, what's up everyone? Lex here, and this is my review of the Nintendo 3DS XL Black Edition. I brought both the original 3DS and the XL here to kind of show you the size difference and also how they attract fingerprints. Now, the 3DS is notorious for attracting fingerprints. This thing is glossed from the inside to the outside, and fingerprints are everywhere on this system. So, if you're OCD and don't like fingerprints on your systems or anything like that, or you're just a clean person, nothing wrong with that. This is probably not the system for you. Now, does the XL solve that problem? Well, take a look. As you can see, even though it is a matte finish, not so much gloss on it, there's still a little bit of gloss, and it's black, so it's going to show smudges and fingerprints. Now, on the inside, it's a little bit different finish there. As you can see, no fingerprints on the speakers or where the buttons are, but the screens, of course, will get the occasional smudge. So, another cool thing about the XL, though, the top screen switches into 3 different positions. They added one for kind of like tabletop viewing, which is excellent for Netflix and stuff like that. So, and we're going to take a look at the top, bottoms, and sides of the system here, and we're going to get a closer look of all these buttons pretty soon here. But just going quickly over what these are, you have the volume slider on the side, on the left side there. On the bottom, you have the headphone jack. There on the right side, you have your wireless switch. Here's the SD card slot, pretty much the same thing. The design of the flap is just more rounded because of the system design. But the cool thing is, it comes preloaded with a 4GB Lexar SD card, which is more than the 2GB SD card that you get with the original 3DS. One of the additions that I love about this system, putting the slider there on the right side of the system instead of on the top like the original 3DS had it. This basically gives you easier access when you're playing games like Mario and Luigi Dream Team, where it's not in use all the time, but you need to quickly grab that stylus. So let's get a closer look at the face buttons here. Circle pad, still not a big fan of the circle pad. It's pretty much the same as the original 3DS. There's hardly any grip to it. Your finger slips after about 30 minutes of gameplay. So select, home, and start buttons. These are the things people were clamoring over. Unfortunately, I found that if you're turning the system sideways to kind of like draw on Art Academy or solve a puzzle or something like that, your hand kind of clicks the home button. Power button there you saw was a bit different. Still the same function. X, Y, A, B buttons there, same thing. They seem to be the same size as well, just kind of like a different finish over them. Here's the 3DS 3D slider, and it kind of clicks at the bottom into place, so if you're not using 3D, it's just kind of there and you don't actually accidentally bump it, you know. The speaker designs are a bit different, but they function pretty much the same. We're going to have a sound test here in a bit to kind of show you more about that. Here's a closer look, though, on the sides and bottom. You have the volume slider. Someone asked if it was a button or a slider in my unboxing video. Definitely a slider, but there's a problem with the slider, and I'm going to show you this right here, right now. When you're playing the system and you've got your hand right there, sometimes your hand kind of bumps it up or bumps it down, and that switches the volume pretty quickly. Not a huge problem, but if you're playing in public places and don't have headphones, that could probably get on your nerves or other people's nerves. On the corner there you have a slot for a lanyard, and then you have the headphone jack, the power, and the charge, but little LED lights, another lanyard ring, the SD card slot there, as well as the stylus slot, and then of course above that you have the wireless switch, which of course is just like a resistant little switch that you flick up to get that wireless on there. On top, though, the shoulder buttons are a bit different than the original 3DS. They're more like the shoulder buttons on the DS Lite. They're bigger, they're kind of more spongy, I guess they're good because they're bigger and they're a little bit easier to hit, but it's not too big of a change there. Slot still the same, charge location, infrared sensor there. I mean, overall, I love the slick design of this system, the rounded edges. The original 3DS hurts after a while of playing it because it has those sharp edges. The XL takes care of that, and it's pretty comfortable to play. XL weighs a little bit more, though, so it's going to get heavy. Wrists are going to get a little bit tired. But let's take a look at these screen differences here. You'll see a brightness difference between the two. I'd say the XL kind of has like that warmer color situation going on. It's really preference. I can't really say that the XL is better than the 3DS as far as that's concerned. I mean, you can kind of judge by yourself from this video. It's pretty much the colors that you see. The filters on this, it really doesn't kind of change the what you would see in person. I guess what I'm trying to say there. But either way, they both look really good. Here's some up close gameplay of the original 3DS. So I think the original 3DS does look better as far as the resolution, the aspect ratio. That's its native, I guess, and it does look better. You can tell. The XL does look a little bit more pixelated, just a tiny bit. To me, it really didn't matter, though. I'd still prefer to play on the bigger screen and take that pixelation, because all 3DS games pretty much have that pixelation. You just can't get past it. It's a system hardware limitation thing. But they all still look great for portable gaming. I'm amazed by how well Animal Crossing in general looks here on the 3DS. I tried to go back and play the original DS Animal Crossing, and man, the frame rate is slower than molasses in January, and it's tough to go back once you've played this. So, and same with the XL. Well, let's go with the sound test now. The original 3DS here. Alright, now let's take a look or listen to the XL. Overall, I'd say the original 3DS does sound better, but it's not a huge deal. It's not, to me, it's not a game changer. The XL is still a fantastic system. I can't go back to the original 3DS now. It's just it's games on the 3DS were meant to be played on the XL, in my opinion. Go pick it up if you don't have it. Hopefully this helped you in your decision. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, and let me know what you think of the Nintendo 3DS XL.